It is 8:18 now, and our meeting may not take much longer unless I keep delaying starting it. So I'm going to open the last Whatcom Public Utility District meeting of the year, just for Whatcom PUD. So I'm opening the meeting. Let's get started. And I don't have the agenda in front of me. Did we have a flag salute?
We do. Call to order and Pledge of Allegiance.
Okay. I pledge allegiance
to the flag
of the United States of America,
and to the
republic
for
which it stands,
one nation,
under God,
indivisible, with liberty
and justice for all.
Thank you.
Next up is approval of the agenda.
Okay, so are there any modifications or changes to the agenda? No. Oh, I'll entertain a motion to approve the agenda.
So moved.
Is there a second?
Second.
Motion and a second. All those in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
Aye. Okay, moving on from that, we have our first public comment period. Is there anybody from the public on Zoom here who would like to make a comment?
It appears that everybody that we have is either attorneys that work for us or employees.
Great. Well, let's close the public comment period. I know we didn't delete it, but I think maybe in this meeting we don't need a second public comment at the end. But I guess since it's on the agenda, it won't be a big deal anyway. So, moving on.
Chris, for clarification purposes, since we approved the agenda, are we considering that motion approving both the agenda and the consent agenda?
No, we got to go back and do the consent agenda.
I move to approve the consent agenda.
I'll second.
Thank you, guys. Motion and a second. All those in favor, please say aye.
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 And of course, we approve the minutes and the claims as well. All right, moving on. Sorry for that. Let's move on to the general manager. Is there a general manager's report today?
There is. It's scheduled for 10 minutes. It shouldn't take more than a minute. First, we're going to need 2 sets of signatures from you guys, or 2 emails. One on the approval of the checks and vouchers, the other on the cancellation of the warrant, which is B on new business, resolution 1. So we'll need emails from you confirming both of those things. So 2 separate emails, please.
And we already have 2 emails from staff, correct, that we need to respond to?
I would defer to Stephanie on that, or Joseph.
That is correct. I sent you guys emails that I need replies to.
Okay. Yeah, I recall those emails. I remember there's one on the claims, and sorry, on the warrant. And then the other one was that we need to respond to was what again, Chris?
It was the consent, the approval of, it's the claims is one, and then the cancellation of the warrant is the other.
Thank you. All right. We got to send 2 emails, and it'll just be reply to sender, right?
That should suffice, yeah. Yeah,
Okay.
please don't reply all, just reply to sender.
Okay, great.
And then, although in this case, since you're confirming something in a public meeting, I guess reply all wouldn't hurt. But anyway, just reply to sender. The second part of, and the only real part of the GM report, we've gotten the 4 responses from recruiters. You guys have gotten those soft copies. We've got the hard copies here. The reason I'm kind of harping on this is that if you want to talk to any of them on the 29th, I need to ask them to be here, and tomorrow is the only business day between now and the 29th. So I need, if you guys want to have a particular one, and it's okay, just tell me what you want after you read these. And if you don't want anybody, if you're fine with just reading these and not talking to folks, that's fine too. Otherwise, I have let them know that we may invite them to the 29th meeting.
Well, I mean, can we talk about, so I've read through them all thoroughly. I definitely have favorites. I thought we would be talking about that in this meeting. Does anybody else have favorites? Like, I would love to hear from is it Jem, or do they use that?
Jem is one of them. Yeah.
Yeah. And Prothman.
Okay.
I saw things in all 4 proposals that I liked. The part that I'm focusing on is the statement of work. the front part, the kind of the approach that they're taking. And there's a part of me that wants to talk to them all, because not to have them in person, because that's a big, much bigger undertaking. But there's a part of me that wants to talk to all four of them to utilize their expertise to help me think through the whole process.
I can certainly invite all four of them on next Monday. And the only thing I would ask is that we've got one on Eastern time, two on Mountain time, and one on Pacific Standard. So I would ask that they would be up front. We would talk to them first in the meeting and then go into other deliberations. And remember, the goal for the 29th is for you guys to say, yes, enter into a contract with this recruiter and send me off to do that.
Have both of you read through them all completely? I think that, like, I understand wanting to talk to all of them, but some of them didn't submit what I would consider a very complete proposal. And that would be fairly easy to weed out.
Well, I agree. Some of the proposals were totally better than the others. And I have to say, I've spent about an hour and a half on reviewing the proposals. I would like to spend much more time, and I haven't spent that much time since receiving them on Friday. All weekend I was volunteering for Saturday, Sunday, and then some on Monday too. So I didn't get to review the materials to the degree I would have liked. But having said that, I do agree that some are better than others, Jamie. I just think we can benefit from all four of these outfits. On some of them, we've already sent them some dough. And I think that in the past, that is. And so I feel like there's an opportunity for us to get the maximum value out of these first steps in thinking through the process and what I should be paying attention over the next several months. And they can help me do that. I think if we schedule them at, time slots, perhaps giving more time, or I would say, okay, the time slots maybe actually should be fair. It should be the same time slots for all four, and then have a period where we deliberate, where I would like to be able to deliberate on that. I guess we could do it. It doesn't matter if we do it in public or private, but then some deliberation and then a vote.
Just to chime in here, I don't think I think it would be in public.
Yeah, it's fine.
Yeah.
Yeah, I see what you're saying. I'm not in favor of that at all. I hate wasting people's time and my own time. And when I know I'm not going to pick somebody because they didn't submit what I would consider a complete proposal, that's just a waste of time. But I'm used to tearing up people's resumes, so well, not literally.
Maybe then if that's then I don't mind. Just let's do this. Let's identify for Chris. And I think when you said business day, tomorrow's Christmas Eve, the day after Christmas Day, I think you meant Friday's the last business day, right, Chris?
No, most places are closed on Friday.
Yeah.
So, I still need a day or a couple of days to be able to, at least a day to be able to respond on who are my picks.
Yeah.
Probably.
I would ask you guys to let me know by noon tomorrow, because some of these people, like I said, they're on different time zones than we are.
Is that a deadline all three of us can live by?
Oh yeah, yeah. And I like the did y'all see the scoring matrix too? I think might be helpful in making that decision. Chris had sent, it was Wednesday, I think maybe you sent out a scoring matrix. Chris?
Yeah, I mean last Wednesday maybe. Yeah.
So what I'm thinking is that we should pick our top two. Does that make sense to everybody?
Yeah.
And so then we'll interview either two or three. If we all pick the same top two.
Yeah.
And we need to give Chris a little rubric. We'll give our top twos, and Chris, you can just tally, okay? And pick our top three out of, and of course, if we all pick the same two, then it'll only be two.
Yes.
But if there's not, that we don't pick the same ones, then just use a scoring matrix. And
So let me channel my inner Peter here.
Yeah, let me, go ahead. Go
Let me-
ahead,
let me
Chris.
jump in.
I think
If
you're giving Chris feedback that then he makes a judgment call ultimately, because you don't want it to be sort of a vote by a tally or a vote by emails individually.
Yeah, because that's going to be a quorum. If you guys, each one of you send me your top two, I will invite everybody who is nominated. And that way I'm not making a decision and you're not establishing a quorum. It may be that we invite all four in that case, but just send me your top two and I'll invite everybody that's nominated.
cool. No, thanks for that.
That
Peter.
sounds,
Good work, Peter.
yeah. Yeah. And then if it's all four, then it's all four. But yeah, that sounds good.
All right. Well, good. Eddie, you haven't spoken on this, but what's your thoughts? Is this a rubric that works for you?
So, Jamie, it sounds like you know who your top two are,
Oh yeah. Mm-hmm.
and you feel comfortable it's those two, and not like there's a third that could be included, or
There's a third that could be included. I did go through the matrix, and I certainly have my own preference because of alignment with our own sort of core values, it seems like. So, yeah.
okay.
But
and then there's one that you're sure that's like, doesn't need to. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
People would see that as well, but maybe not.
Well, I interpreted that the rubric thing was like that's just a tool for us to use in our evaluation and picking the top two, right?
Well, no. Part of how you stay out of trouble, like the port got into, is every time you let a contract, you have some rational basis for letting it. That scoring matrix is the rational basis for this contract. So
okay.
from an audit perspective, it's very important to use that.
Okay, it is. Okay.
Yeah.
So that's all. So us filling out that matrix is all public process, public record, and everything. Okay.
Yeah. And to be completely clear, this is the matrix that we've used internally every time we let one of these small works contracts and all that. That's how I'm confident we're not in any kind of trouble like the port is. It's just, this is what we do. And so normally this would be something that's within my delegation of authority. The reason that you're seeing it and seeing it in this form is because it's your search. Yeah.
Right. Okay. So, and then to clarify, are we scheduling interviews for Monday?
I think what we're doing is we're scheduling them to be available for discussion, and then you guys can interview them or just have a discussion with them, however you want to structure it. But they need to know that we want them on the line.
Right. And they've all been notified that a meeting is happening on Monday, and they're waiting for confirmation that they should attend.
They've all been notified there's a meeting on Monday. And
okay.
I told them, we would let them know. But they may, even if we don't let them know, they may attend. That's fine. It's a public meeting.
Gotcha. Okay. So there's already the four applicants or proposed, the four that responded there, it may be there. And then, okay. So as far as the feedback we get you by noon tomorrow is just to confirm, is just to know if we've already narrowed it down, basically to figure out if we're narrowing it down.
I just need the top two from each of you by noon tomorrow.
Yeah.
That's it.
Gotcha.
That's it. And I'll take care of the rest.
Okay.
And as I said earlier, my guess is it'll be either 2 or 3 that we'll talk to on Monday. So
thanks for clarifying all that.
All right. Any further discussion on this subject?
And that's it for the GM report. And we just have 2 items of new business. We've got the contract for the chemical supply. That's the first thing. And I'm assuming, Kurt, are you going to do that one?
Yes. Good morning, Commissioners.
Good morning.
So this is an action memo to approve Illumichem for our 2026 chemical supply. This is the flocculation chemical that we use for our process. This is integral to what we do here at the PUD. We had two entrants, but one we're considering as non-responsive because we have never tested them before, and so we're gonna give them this year to test their chemical while we continue to use Illumichem. And then at the end of 2026 or near the end of 2026, we're gonna put out another public bid because of the pricing. But we had to test the chemical that we never used. So we want to award Illumichem because we've been using them for at least 6 years now, and we know their product works. And so I'm here to request your approval and answer any questions you may have.
Are there comments or questions from the commission?
None for me.
Okay, so
I have one additional comment before you do vote, Kurt, if I may. If this is the one I helped a little bit with, right, Kurt?
Correct.
Yeah, so I think it would be good if when the commission votes to make a specific finding of non-responsiveness on the part of the other bidder. I believe that either the statute or the policy called for that. And I think you provided the information basically, but maybe just so the commission's clear, that's part of this action is to award to the lowest responsive bidder, but to find the other one specifically non-responsive at this moment.
And do we have to call the other bidder out as non-responsive? And is it a reflection on the other bidder, or is it a reflection on our compatibility at this particular time with the other bidder?
So
I can answer the part of it that you don't have to call the other bidder out specifically, but you can. But it's not particularly reflective of the other bidder, in my opinion.
Yeah, so the other bidder is using a chemical that we've never used before. And what we need to find out, number one, does it work? Number two, is it, cost effective? In other words, it may be a little cheaper than Illumichem, but if you got to use twice as much, then you don't get there. And then the third thing we don't know is it corrosive to our facilities? So we got to verify that we're not putting something in there that actually eats through everything that we've got. So since it's not tested, they're not responsive. But we're testing them this year, which is why we're going to rebid it at the end of the year.
So let's see, the motion that I'd like to see introduced as a motion is to approve could you repeat the name of the vendor?
Illumichem.
Illumichem for the supply of the chemical, recognizing that we had another bid that was non-responsive because of new chemistry.
Specifically a lack of testing, let me just interject.
It's a lack of testing.
Okay, because of a lack of testing. Here's the thing, guys. If it's something on our part, which is a lack of testing, the challenge that presents is that how are we complying with the governmental requirements for at least 2 bids before making an approval? Because we knew ahead of time or didn't know ahead of time that the chemistry was different. And if we have I mean, it's like, if the chemistry is fundamentally different, whose responsibility is to do testing? It's ours, right? So I'm just bringing up the fact is that if you've got 2 bidders and going in that one of them is going to be non-conforming, then why get the other bid?
So, Commissioner, if I may, the chemistry that Illumichem sells is common. And so when we go out and bid for the chelating, for the flocculant, there's a lot of vendors out there that could bid, and we expect that they will. And in this case, I don't think they did. Alumichem bid, and then this other vendor bid who had some new chemistry that we have just never used before. So it's not tested.
So both of the suppliers are providing polyaluminum chloride, but not every single manufacturer is going to make the exact same chemistry in their polyaluminum chloride. So we don't know until we test if it's going to be completely compatible with our process. Sometimes the polyaluminum chloride doesn't have anything to do with potable water, or they use it for clarifying paper mills. They're using it for a different kind of a process. So even though it's still called polyaluminum chloride, it's designed for not exactly perhaps the process that the Whatcom PUD is doing. So that's part of the testing.
Yeah, it just seems to me is that, for the last many years that I've been a commissioner, I have noticed that this particular bid, this particular procurement requirement has been an area where we've lacked competitive bidding in many times. And if you do and I haven't done it, of course, the team has, the staff have, some kind of a reliability HAZOP. That HAZOP applies to catastrophic failure, but you probably know what I'm talking about. The idea of looking at all the potential reliability challenges in our water treatment process. If you look at that, the chemical is critical, and more than one supply option for the chemical is critical. Let's say we have an emergency where a particular supplier has a plant issue that keeps them from supplying us the chemical. Like, what is our fallback? We've got a little bit of buffer, which is good. We store, which is good. But it just at a time like this, we have massive consumption of chemicals because of high turbidity in the river. I'm just wondering, how robust are we to, issues that might arise if our procurement keeps picking one vendor and really can't pick another vendor because we're not set up for the other vendor. It's like, what can we do on our side to be more robust?
I think you have a good point, Commissioner, and this is the first time since I've been here where I've actually seen another potentially similar chemical as an option. The whole time I've been here, there's been only the one option from the one supplier, from what I've seen. It's only less than 5 years, but now we're actually seeing another company that may be able to supply a similarly effective chemical. And so, I think this is a good thing to see this other supplier show up, but we still have to go through our bidding process of making sure that they're not going to kill all of our pumps by corrosivity. Like Chris mentioned, it's not going to take twice as much chemical to achieve the same result.
Okay, and so from your opinion, then, Kurt, this is actually a demonstration moving in the right direction to address a problem that, I wouldn't call it what I'm defining, Kurt, as a problem, more as an observation to address that. It's more your guys' job to decide it's a problem or not, if you know what I'm saying. I'm just an observation to hopefully support you in going forward. There may be some cost, there may be some complexity, which maybe even requires a budget addendum to be able to build the process to validate a new chemical pathway. And I'm just want to commit to the commissioners, as far as my commissioner opinion on this subject, is I want us to be more robust to this chemical vendor chemistry choice going forward.
If I look back through some of the old records of other chemical names, not the polyaluminum, but the suppliers, some of them they didn't supply any bid, and I'm not even sure if they're still a supplier in general, because some places have been bought out. I know one of the names that we've had is no longer even a company anymore. So this is another, just one of those kind of things that we experience in all kinds of areas where There's consolidation in process and manufacture, whatever, pumps, different things. So it seems like we're getting a lot of less choices in a lot of different areas. And so to see that, even like I said, even we have to go through this testing area to see that there is another potentially reliable source, I like you mentioned, is a future benefit.
Well, thank you for entertaining this conversation. Commissioners, are there further questions and comments?
Good Lord, no, we talked it to death.
Come on, Jamie, you don't want to talk about robustness?
No. I mean, I'm looking at the memo. It's all there. We put out for bids. So it looks good. I will make a motion to award the PAC Chemical Supply 2026 contract to let's see,
Lumachem.
Luma.
Is there a second?
I'll second the motion.
Okay, there's a motion and a second. If there's no further discussion, all those in favor, please say aye.
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 Thank you,
Thank you,
commissioners. The next item is cancellation of a warrant, and I think Stephanie was going to be able to chime in.
Good morning, commissioners.
Good morning.
I have resolution 888. We have our vendor HDR Engineering that did not receive a warrant that we issued in November. We're assuming it's lost in the mail, and so I would like to void this one, and the reissued one is in our current claims packet.
I'll move to approve.
Is there
I
a
second.
motion and a second? Any discussion? All those in favor, please say aye.
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 Thank
Thank you,
you.
Stephanie.
Joseph has a hand up.
Just question quick for Peter. Would you send me a quick email with the last motion for legal clarification as to the unresponsive, how we need to phrase that so that we're...
I will do that. Yep, I will do that,
Thank you.
Joseph. Yeah, just so you know, the discussion in my mind made the requisite finding. So, yeah.
Okay, then I won't worry about it. I'll just say, based on discussion, here's what we found.
Yep.
Okay, perfect. Thank you.
Thank you, Chris. Could you help me with the agenda?
Did we approve resolution 888?
We did.
Okay, then the only other thing we have is public comment, and Dave Olson is the only member of the public who's on as a participant.
So
And
Dave, I'm
Dave,
gonna, our last meeting, can you do a public comment for us and have us go out in style?
Take the opportunity.
Come on, Dave, you're our silent hero. They're supporting all the water associations.
I'm not seeing his hand up.
Yeah, okay, didn't work. He didn't take the bait. All right, well, if
There's no comment.
if there's no comment, I'll go ahead and close the public comment period. I will take the liberty of making a statement. Thank you, everyone. Thank you from the commission to all the staff. Thank you for the community. We obviously have some crises happening in the community around flooding and Sumas and Everson. It's wonderful to see everybody come together. It's just the most amazing effort. Almost all volunteers. I had the opportunity to participate, and I encourage everyone to celebrate our community through this tragedy. With that, I hope wish everyone an absolutely wonderful holiday, time with family, time with friends, and hopefully time to celebrate everything that's good in our world. And we'll see you for a working meeting on a week from yesterday, December 29th. If you choose to do so, the commission will be at work reviewing the vendor for our executive search. That will be a last meeting for the year. It'll be a special meeting, and that will be the sole purpose of the meeting. And of course, I will be handing the gavel over to my my colleague Eddie. Eddie, you want me to take it? You may take the gavel to the end of the year, or you want to chair the next meeting?
I'll start in January.
Okay. All right. Great. Well, thank you all. I'll call the meeting closed and everybody have a lovely week. Thank you.
Merry Christmas, everyone.
Merry Christmas.
Bye-bye.